The acting was terrible, the wigs were terrible, the lip syncing was bad. What's up everyone, my name is Matthew and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button and let's be friends. So today we are going to be talking about something very different. We are not going to be talking about pageants, we are going to be talking about Selena, the series on Netflix. So the reason why I want to talk about Selena, the series, is because I myself am a huge Selena fan. I've been a fan of Selena's since I was about 7 or 8 years old. And I think a couple of the reasons why I became a fan of hers was because her music was very different to me. I never really heard any type of music like that. So the Tejano music really stuck out to me. I think I was also captivated by the way that she performed on stage. I was also captivated by the Spanish language. I think since I was young, I always was interested in learning different languages. And also the fact that she has such a huge following and that she made such an impact on thousands of people's lives up until today. In 2018, a series was released entitled El Secreto de Selena, and this series was actually not approved by Selena's family. So in response, the Quintanilla family began working with Netflix towards the end of 2018 in order to create a more appropriate story detailing about Selena's life, including their own. And Selena's sister Suzette is actually one of the executive producers of the series. Compared to Selena the movie, the series was much more in-depth. It was very detailed, which I appreciated. For example, in the movie, they didn't really talk about how Selena got her name, which was mentioned in the series. In the series, they also spoke more about how they struggled when they were younger. For example, like when they were working backyard weddings and retirement homes. They even mentioned what the band's first name was, which is Southern Pearl. I didn't even realize that. I always thought it was just always Selena y los Dinos. And then like how they made their own like props for the stages, like lights out of peach cans, like the little things like that I really loved, because again, it's just you're learning more about their journey and how they developed their name. There's only so much that you can say in a movie. So how long was the Selena movie? Maybe it was a little over 2 hours long. So that's understandable. But again, I definitely appreciate how detailed the series is, especially during her early years in the 80s when she first started performing on the Johnny Canales show, how she really wasn't that great at speaking in Spanish. And also how like all the way up to the Tejano Music Awards when she won her very first TMA. So that's pretty awesome. Both Jennifer Lopez and Christian Serratos received negative backlash when they were announced as the actresses to portray Selena. People were saying, how could you select a Puerto Rican to represent a Mexican singer, because Jennifer Lopez is Puerto Rican. And then with Christian, they were saying that like, oh, Christian looks nothing like Selena, how could you choose her? Was she the only one that auditioned for the part? The other thing is though, they're actresses, so they were asked to portray a role, and both of them portrayed Selena in their own way. And I definitely appreciate that. Selena, there's only one Selena, and no one can ever be like Selena, but these two actresses portrayed Selena to the best of their ability. Like in all aspects of life, you can't make everyone happy, you can't please everyone. So with this series, there were a lot of mixed reviews, there were a lot of negative reviews. People were saying that the acting was terrible, the wigs that were used were mentioned, and people were saying the wigs were terrible. They were saying that the lip syncing was bad, that the dancing was bad, and again, that Christian does not look anything like Selena, and that the production quality was bad. But honestly, I thought that the production quality was awesome, because Like, for example, the stage that they used for the Tejano Music Awards in the series looked just like the stage at the actual Tejano Music Awards. When they were recording the music videos, scenes in the series, those were pretty accurate. So I thought the production quality was great. And I guess I can somewhat agree with the wig issue and the lip syncing and the dancing issue. Yes, the wigs weren't the best. They probably could have chosen better wigs, and the lip syncing was a little off, the dancing was a little off, but again, I don't think Christian was ever a dancer, so this was just her doing her best, and I appreciate that. Oh, and let's go back to the wig issue. Now, if you're a true Selena fan, you know that Selena did not just always have long black hair and bangs. Selena in the 80s, she had a perm. She had short hair, she had brown hair, and then the outfits that they used in this series were really accurate to the actual outfits that Selena wore. So my friend is here. She's going to be reading some of the reviews that we found online about the series, and this is my reaction to them.
Selena the series could have been a fitting tribute to an Mexican-American trailblazer with still too few successors, but it never gets at what made her such a star.
Okay, so here's about how I feel about this one. I feel like the series definitely gets to what made her a star because it progressed from how they started performing when they were kids all the way up to her very, very first Tejano Music Award. And it showed every step they took. So, and it showed their progression to how she became a star, how she earned everything for herself, how the family earned everything for themselves, how they overcame all of their struggles along the way to becoming a star.
The show gives too much time to the nuts and bolts without tapping into the juice, how it all emotionally impacts Selena y los Dinos.
Okay, so in order to tap into the juice, you have to talk about the nuts and bolts. And by nuts and bolts, I mean the details. And again, I'm circling back to this because the show was very detailed. This show explained so many things that many Selena fans, like myself, probably didn't even realize that happened in her life. So it definitely taps into the emotional side of Selena y los Dinos because they showed their struggles, they showed their hardships, they showed their successes. The show really helps connect fans to the emotional story of Selena y los Dinos, whether you've been a fan of hers recently or you've been a fan of hers for years.
The care and compassion that has been injected into the first half of this biographical two-part TV series is evident from the very start and never lets up during the initial 9 episodes.
I agree with this review. You definitely could feel and see the care, compassion, and effort that were put into the production of the series. In my opinion, I thought that the production quality was great. The cinematography was awesome. For example, certain scenes in the series were shot in the 80s, and when you were watching it, you felt like you were in the 80s. The series may not have been perfect, and I get that. Again, you can't please everyone, you can't make everyone happy, but at the end of the day, it's all about the story, and I loved the way that they delivered the story. As a Selena fan, I appreciate every single way that they try to honor the Queen of Tejano, be it a documentary, a movie, a series. And with this generation, I think this series is a great way for them to learn about her story and how to keep her memory alive. So that's it, everyone. That's my opinion on Selena the series on Netflix. I think they ended the first season great with a good cliffhanger. I can't wait for the second season. I definitely want to know what you guys think, so please make sure you comment your opinions down below in the comment section, and I will see you in my next video.